welcome to Ready, Set, Demo. Today we're going to talk about ideas to promote your business, to get your name out there, to get people to your classes, or to get people to your online places if you do online. We're going to talk about both. So we're going to talk about online ideas and we're going to talk about in-person ideas. But what I would say is even if you are fully in person, here we are online, we're talking. So there are some of the online things I think would also be very good for finding your in-person customers and keeping in contact with them as well. So what I'm going to do today is go through all of those ideas. We've got over 30. So grab yourself a notepad and make a note of what you like the sound of. Now, this is quite important because there are lots of things that we can do, and some of those things make our hearts sink. Some people hate making a telephone call. Some people don't like doing social media. Some people are freaked out by doing something where they've got to stand up in front of people in real life. I want you to find the things that excite you and make you keen and want to do this, because we will be automatically more successful if we are loving the things that we do. And out of 30, I am sure you're going to find one or two that really speak to you. So write down all the ones that you're thinking, yeah, that could be me. And then at the end, I'm going to get you to choose a maximum of 3 of those things to try, a maximum. So the other thing I will do, if you hang on with me till the end, I will also tell you where you can find a free downloadable with all of these ideas on there. But bear with me, listen through, because that will just be a list. This, we will talk a little bit more about what and how. Okay, so we will start off. Where should we start? We'll start with in-person ideas and then we'll go on to online ideas only. But again, I think there may be, even if you're online, there may be some things here that may make you think, do you know, I could maybe do that. So let's get started. First thing I recommend is doing a stand at a local show. Now, I'm thinking here about vendor fairs, about county shows, those sort of things, a bigger kind of show. You may want to do this with a demo friend, because they're quite hard to do on your own, or if not, a family member who will come and chat with people and do that. I have a whole other video about that, and I'm going to link that down below as well, so you can find that. So you can see that will give you a lot more information about shows. Also along those lines, but on a much smaller scale, a stand at a market. Or a little craft show, something like that. So again, that video that I mentioned goes into both of those in more detail, but that is getting yourself out there in front of people, showing them pretty things, showing them and talking to them about what you offer. Now, this is one you can do every day. Talk to everyone you meet about what you do. I can even find if I'm standing in a supermarket line or a bank queue, if you're a chatty person, you can start talking, have something that you can talk about. You can even say, have I got glitter on my face? Oh, I was doing some crafting earlier and I caught I'm sure I saw some a minute ago. Is it gone? And then you can talk about crafting. Completely fake glitter. You don't need the actual glitter, but if you feel you need the help, so talk to people about what you do, share what you're offering, take note of their excitement, have something to hand over to them. A business card, a handmade card, if you have a couple in your bag with some business cards in them, really good way to introduce yourself to other people. Now, a bit braver, volunteer as a speaker or a demonstrator for local groups. So especially craft groups, you could be a speaker for a craft group. So reach out to them and ask them if you could come and talk to them. I've also done things like Women's Institute in the UK, anywhere where predominantly ladies. We do obviously have guys that stamp as well, but predominantly ladies groups, community groups, church groups. See whether there's someone you can speak to or demonstrate to, so that they can see what it is that you do. Um, Invite an existing customer or a friend to host a party. Now, this is a bit old school now, isn't it? We don't often do hosted gatherings. Some of us do, but certainly in my business, a good few 6 or 7 years ago, the hosted ones kind of dropped off. But it does help if somebody will host. So what you could title it as is a private class and say, get some of your friends around and I'll come and do a private class. Make it low cost or even free if you're not using too much product, and get them to do a little bit of crafting and then sell to them at the class, or promote your own classes for them to come on a regular basis. Call or reach out to previous customers. So if you've been around for a while like me, you will have some lapsed customers. I've had some ladies who moved away, but now I do online, so I could reach out to them. I have some ladies who had a baby and stopped crafting for a while, or were very busy with another project or even another hobby. And it's a good idea to reach back out to people and say, do you remember how much fun we have? Have you got time now to do this? Or if you don't, would you like a catalogue? Would you like to have a peek at what we're doing? So reach out to your previous customers. Make and share flyers. Now, flyers is an interesting one because you do, if it's an unsolicited, as they call it, flyer, you just put it through someone's door without any other contact. They've got a fairly low response rate. Usually about 1 to 2% is considered a good response rate for flyers. However, what I will say is from flyers in the past, I have had some of my best customers and customers who've brought other customers to me. So although I may have got one person respond to a mailing or a delivery of 100 flyers, that one person could have majorly impacted my business. So I certainly wouldn't rule it out. You can do have some flyers made. You can make them yourself just in Word and print them out. And if you're trying to get fit, it's a great way to get your steps in. You can also get friends and family to help. And, make sure you're in a safe place where you're going. We want our lovely customers to be in a safe place as well. So feel safe as you're doing it, but maybe consider going and mailing or posting out some flyers. You can also put flyers in local stores, on a church notice board, obviously with permission. One thing that I tend to do, particularly in the church, is I would always leave a cello bag, an open cello bag with flyers to take, and just put a please take one. So people, as well as seeing the information, can take that information away. So if it's possible for you to do that, then I would certainly do that as well. Send a card. Oh my goodness, how many cards do we have as card makers? Send a card, I know. And put a flyer inside it. Tell the recipient of the card what it is you're doing. Again, this could be those lapsed customers. It could be missing you. This is one we made at the last class. Love to see you back. And pop a flyer in there as well. So another idea that sort of combines a couple of those. Talk to your existing customers. They are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. They want you to carry on doing classes, so they need their classes to be full and to be popular. And they love what they're doing because they're already coming. So ask them to share. Again, you can give them flyers. I have done that before. Share flyers at their workplaces, at the clubs they go to, with friends that they know. I've sometimes offered a little incentive. If you bring somebody along to your class, to your next class, you will get, a pack of bling or something like that. Or if you bring someone along and they book the next class, I will give you a pack of bling, or even both of you a pack of bling. Or you can offer them a half price class if they bring somebody with them. So something like that. Think about what incentive you would like to offer with it, or just ask your customers. Say, I need your help. I need some more people at my classes. Another thing that you can do, again, a little bit braver, but you can do it. I trust in you. You could offer to be interviewed by local media. So local newspapers, local online groups are often looking for stories. They're looking for engagement. And you could offer to be that person who's interviewed. Go along with a story about what you do and about how you help people, maybe how it brings the community together. Recently, I saw a new venue open in a local village. And I immediately said to one of my team who lives very close to that village, get down there, offer to do a pop-up class, and then get the media along. Get the media along to see the pop-up class in action. And don't worry, if you're worried, oh, no one might come and I might get the media there and nobody's come, yeah, get a couple of your existing customers to come just to be safe. And then advertise, do those flyers in the local area. Again, I've brought 3 of those together. But yeah, approach local media and say, I'm doing this. It's a great local story. Come and cover it. Paid local advertising. Now, this will depend on what you've got. In my village, we have a village newsletter. So in the past, I have done advertising in the village newsletter. Sometimes as a local business, they will give you a cheaper rate. Again, even in a village newsletter, I have had a paid advertising that is combined with a little interview piece or a little update piece. So do talk to your local newsletters and also, as I say, paid advertising in local press. And finally, and this is where we're just about to, and I'm saying finally for in person, but we're about to slip into the online ideas. Social media ads for in-person events. So just because you're only teaching in person does not mean that your customers may see you or find you online. Important thing with that is to target your customers, and I will talk about that a little bit more in a moment. So, how are we feeling? Have we thought of something? Did one of those things make you think, do you know, I could get out, I could print a few flyers and get some steps in my local area? Did one of those things make you think, yeah, I'm going to do that? So, online ideas. What are we going to do for online ideas? The first one is blogging. Do you blog? Do you have a website? Do you have a place online where people find you? A blog is a good idea for lots of reasons, but the main one is you own it. Social media doesn't own it, not somebody else that owns it. You own it. Nobody can tell you what you can or can't put on your blog. There are rules in various places if you share that say, oh, but you can't advertise, you can't do this, you can't do that. So, but with a blog, you can share what you want to do. You're totally in control of it. So I have done a blog for, I started blogging before I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, just to show what I was making. And so that must have been 18, 19 years ago. And then I took a huge step, which you may know if you follow me, of stopping that blog and moving to my new website. February 2025, we started, and that was scary because I had followers for my blog. or my blogs by then I had two, but we moved across. So you could even do that. If you've got a blog that's kind of lapsed or you haven't really been doing it and you want to launch something new, don't be afraid to do that as well. Don't be afraid to make a whole new website, and just make sure you bring your blogger friends with you to your new place. Social media shares. Now, again, we mostly have somewhere that we go to on social media anyway. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok now. I've never ticked or talked, but TikTok and all of those different online places that you can go to. Think of where your ideal customer may likely be. Are they likely to be on Facebook or Pinterest? So sharing on social media is a really good idea. And what I will say with both the blogging and the sharing on social media and some of the other things on here that I will come on to, consistency is the way to go with that. So there is no point doing a blog post or some sort of Facebook post or a Instagram post and then not going back there for years. There's no point. You're going to need to go there on a regular basis, and only you know how much you can cope with. If it's once a month, it's better than nothing. If it's twice a month or once a week, that's better still. I don't do more than that. People who are full-time online sometimes will post every day or even multiple times in a day. But I don't want you to take on something that is not realistic for you. I want you to think about how much time you have to do that thing. Also, learn one of those social medias in terms of sharing, not in terms of consumption, but in terms of sharing on that social media platform. Learn about that one before you add another one and then add another one. Online classes. Now we can do online classes with video or with Zoom. I like the idea when you do an online class is you do it as a paid class. Now that's something different to doing a class on Facebook, which you're just sharing with everybody. But you could do that to bring people in to a paid online class where there is a paid element for it. As I say, you can do those on YouTube, on Facebook, on Zoom. Be aware that if you put an online class onto Facebook video and Facebook, it will be taken down now after 30 days. It does not stay on there forever. So if you want it as a forever place, then you may want to go to YouTube instead. Online articles and interviews. I'm thinking particularly podcasts. They are a huge thing now. And again, podcasters are always looking for someone to interview. Can't find somebody who wants to interview you? Then go and interview one of your team. Go and interview a fellow demonstrator, maybe a demonstrator in another part of the world. And then you can both put out a podcast, a chat that you had between you, an interview where you interview one another about what you do. It's a really interactive way because people will see you being more natural with one another. So, I mean, if you can get on one that is a known podcast that has already got a great following, fantastic. If not, why not start your own? SEO, search engine optimization. It's a huge topic. Ask me how I know. Search engine optimization helps your website or your blog be seen by more people. The more that we do to improve that optimization, the better we will get, because the more we do to improve that optimization, the more visitors we will get to our blog or our website. This is not just another video that needs doing. This is a whole topic. And it's not one that I'm going to go into detail today. But if you have your own website and you use something, you have something like Yoast where you can see whether a particular post is getting a green or a red flag, that can help you to improve it. And what I'm going to say is find yourself an expert for this. I love Catherine Carroll. She does an awful lot of things on online things and sharing online and ways to improve that. So she is tech help for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators on Facebook. So I love her content for this. There are also, as soon as you put out a new website, I will tell you there are a gazillion people who want to sell you this. But if you are going to pay for it, make sure you've got someone who really knows what they're doing. Lives. So we talked about doing sort of a recorded content on Facebook or YouTube, a class that's recorded, but you can also do lives. And lives don't need to be a class. Lives can just be a show and tell. I bet you've watched loads of them. They're quite an interactive way because if people are on there talking to you, you can chat back to them. If you're doing your first ever live, get a friend to watch while you do it and be at least one person who is typing in and interacting. Don't worry about being perfect on your first live. None of us are. In fact, none of us are perfect on our 100th live. Just go for it, show something. If something goes wrong, show how you'd fix it in a class situation. So yeah, go for it, enjoy it, and people will interact. Lives generally on something like Facebook get more views than a video because Facebook will share lives with more people than showing a video. Just something to be aware of. Share your own short-term offer or share a Stampin' Up! Offer. Anything that is do it now, while stocks last, while you can, between these dates is a really good thing to share. Share that with your existing customers, but also share it generally online. Somebody who doesn't know about it may see that and snap it up. If you can do something that is different, it may catch the eye more. So Stampin' Up! Will give us a graphic, for example, that shares a particular offer. Every demonstrator who's online and on the case is going to put that same graphic. They may give us one or two. But if you do your own graphic or you put the graphic next to a picture of something you've made that features something from that sale, it makes it much more personal that you can then talk about, did you see I did this with the new in colours? And this is cute. And do you know, by the way, we have 15% off this month. So it kind of brings it together and makes it more personal between you and your customer. Video demonstrations. Now, slightly different to doing a live or something like that that's just sort of more general. You can do a demonstration of a particular technique, a particular fold or something like that, a particular fancy fold, make it your own, you know, take a technique that's out there, but make it your own and show it with something that's a new stamp or a new die or something like that. That is a great way to do a demonstration online. Another thing that's really fun that you can do online is an unboxing. So if you've got some new goodies arriving, I've got some coming on Monday, you can do an unboxing video and show literally just what is coming out of the box and talk about it. It shows enthusiasm, it shows excitement. My balance with this is when am I going to show this? Because if I've got customers who I want them to get something on this month's offer, I don't necessarily want to show them something that they can't buy yet, that they can't buy till next month. So maybe time it towards the end of the month to say, you can get this thing next month, but it's only a few days. Let me know if you would like it. I can order it for you if that's something that you offer. Zoom events or retreats. Now, this is something else that is a much bigger undertaking that you can do online, but demonstrators have been very successful with offering this. One of the advantages of this is if you're doing it on Zoom, you can pre-record content, but also have some live elements of this. It means that you do not, if you do an all-day event, you do not need to be in front of your computer providing live commentary the whole time. You can do a little intro, then you can show a video, then you can do a bit more chat, then you can show a video, and so on. It can be very interactive. You can do it all over the world, so you can offer something like this in other countries, but make sure in your own country you are including some product so that people can make things along with you, make that the offering that they get goodies posted out to them so that they can craft along with you on the retreat. Paid social media advertising. Now, I said I'd come back to this. What you want to do if you are going to do something paid is to target it. There is no point in me putting out a paid advert that goes to everybody who looks at my Facebook group saying, come to a class here in my hometown, because that's going to go out round the world. I'm lucky enough to have lovely creative friends all over the world, but you can't come to my local group. So I've paid to share something with you that you can't benefit from. So when you target it, you're going to say only within 5 miles, or however far in your area people would travel for a class, it may be further, only within 15 miles or 20 miles of this event. I only want women over 30. I know we have some younger crafters, but so if you have, and that's a lot of your population, then you may need to change what that is. For me, it would be local, it would be women over 30, and sometimes you can say you could put in with these existing hobbies. People who crochet, people who knit, people who paint, people who like photography, people who do card making, obviously, people who do scrapbooking. So you can actually tailor that ad so that it goes to those people. It's a complete lottery, I'm going to tell you, as to whether that works, even if it's targeted. I've had really successful advertising campaigns that have got me customers. I have had some that have fallen flat and I've paid good money for. So only you can decide what you want to try. It's good if you're going to try a targeted advertising campaign to do it along with other things at the same time, so people see you more than once. When we see people multiple times, we are more likely to respond. Sometimes it takes 5 times for you to see something before you think, yes, I would like to do that thing. So for example, if you are doing a local media advertising, a paid advert and flyers all in the same week, pointed at those same people, they've got the chance to see you 3 different times. You're likely to get a better response if they see you more than once. So just something else to think about. Blog hops. Now this is an easy, again, laid back way of sharing what you're doing. You can join a blog hop, have a look around, see ones that call to you. Again, they're usually, they can be local, they can be worldwide. They usually have got some sort of a theme for the month, and you can make something along with that theme and share it. When you do a blog hop, you need to be prepared to be involved in that blog hop. That means that you are going to not only advertise the next person along from you on the hop, sometimes on blog hops you're required to show all of the people who are in the blog hop group and advertise those onto your website or onto your blog. And and also you need to be able to go around and visit the people on the blog. Unless it's a mega one with hundreds of people, you should go and visit everybody else who is posting and sharing on that blog spot, on that blog for that month, and make a comment on each one. Comments really help. Comments really help. So if you put comments on, they're more likely to be shared. They help, going back to that SEO, search engine optimization. If people are interacting, it gets you out there more. And that is why doing a blog hop helps, because it gets your social media out there being seen by more people that would not normally see it. Similarly, join challenges and competitions. Again, you may be going and sharing your creation on one person's website if they're running the challenge, but your information will be out there. People will be able to see you. If they like what you've made, they may come and visit you as well. So challenges and competitions, another way to share yourself. Consider starting a Facebook group. Now, if you have a group of crafty friends, you have some existing customers, consider starting a group. It helps people interact more. You'll need to encourage engagement. So you'll need to encourage people to post on there. I did this during lockdown. I started a private group for my customers. They didn't really want to be out there publicly. They wanted to be able to talk and show things and not necessarily have the rest of the world looking in. That is great if you are trying to keep your community together, you're trying to get your community to interact in between classes. That is perfect. If you want your group to bring you more customers, you're going to need to make it public. You're going to need to allow other people to join. Once you allow other people to join, you will need to moderate that group, see what is being shared. What you don't want as a Facebook group owner is for somebody else to come along and say, oh, come to my class instead. Come and do this, come and do that. So that's what I would say is you're going to need to moderate it. You're going to need to keep an eye on what is going on in that group. Or you can maybe get some help with that by asking some of your regular customers to just keep an eye on it or let you know. You can also have a thing where people can only post once you've looked at the post, so you can bring that in as well. That is a possibility. Now, there's the other side of this, and this is share in other groups. I don't want to go in to another demonstrators group who is only advertising her own classes in that group and go, oh, hi, I'm ready, set, demo. You can do my classes as well. That is a complete no-no. However, some groups do allow some element of promotion, of self-promotion. Some groups just allow you to show some pretty pictures, and then it's up to people if they want to go and look. But basically they say no links. You're not allowed to put a link in there. And that's fair enough. Whoever runs the group gets to choose the rules, and whether that's you or whether that's the person in a group you're going to. Have a look at that. Now, one that I would say are really, really, really good to share in is your local Facebook groups. Again, check what is allowed with advertising or with just sharing. I am in several local Facebook groups in the village that I live in and some surrounding areas where I have an allowance to once a month put in an advert for classes to say, come to my classes. And so once a month I can share that. And I diary it so that every month, once a month, I go and put it out there. There's always new people moving into an area who are joining that group for the first time, who may see that for the first time. So check with the owners of the group to see what you're allowed or not allowed to do, and then see if you can share. Run a contest. So this is, instead of going and doing somebody else's contest or competition, run your own contest. Now, this could be for all sorts of different things. It could be we could have a whole video about what to do to run a contest. But go and have a look out there at other contests and competitions that are on there. It could be for getting interaction. An example, this is my own example, is this month on my newsletter. I wanted to hear from some of you. What would you like me to offer you as a class that you could teach? A ready to teach class, what would you like to see? What theme would you want it to be? In order to encourage as many people as possible to respond to that, and you can still respond if you haven't already, just contact me and let me know. At the end of the month, I said I would do a prize draw for people to win a free class. So that's something that you can do. If you're doing this on a particular site and in certain countries, there can be rules for what you're allowed to do as a contest. Do prove to people it's fair, that you're doing it fairly, and do make sure that you're following any local rules. Now, I talked about building up with your social media and being consistent. And I did say start with one. And here I'm saying blitz one social media channel. Now, this is kind of a little bit, you need to be a little bit careful with this one, because if people see a lot of the same thing from you over and over again, and then you go dead as a doornail, that is not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is maybe doing a little boost on a social media channel to get some interaction before you put on the thing that you actually want them to do. So, for example, if you are going to teach a big Christmas class, you could do a little blitz on your Facebook for a week beforehand where you show little tiny photos of little edge bits or little sneak peeks or a picture of the products that you're going to be using, and you build that up through the week to build some excitement. And on each one you can say, check back in on Friday, I've got something exciting to tell you. And then Friday is your day where you then share the thing that you're actually wanting them to do, join your class. So that's another way of using social media in a kind of a blitz way. On Saturday, don't switch everything off and forget it. You need to go back to whatever your consistent is. You've built up that interest. So, don't let it all go away. Another thing I'm going to talk about in blitzing it is to join up with a group of demonstrators. Now, I did this following a leadership challenge a few years ago, and a group of demonstrator friends and I all went for it and commented regularly on one another's posts. Did it help for somebody in my team to see my post? Not really, but it did, because every time somebody likes and comments on your post, it pushes it up and up the algorithm. Facebook was the one that we were using, so that it was seen by more and more people. And not all of those people were people in my team, people I already knew, people who were already a demonstrator. So it's definitely worth having a think about if you got a demo friend group that you could do that with. So that's two ways to blitz. Vlogging. Vlogging's an interesting one because it was something that was very popular. I'm sorry, I keep touching my eye. I've got blocked tear ducts. I'm sorry if this is too much information, and I'm waiting for surgery, but I've no idea how long the list is, but it's going to be months. So I keep doing this. I'm not crying. Vlogging used to be a big thing. When blogging first came out, vlogging was a big thing, and it seemed to sort of die off. But to me, I see it coming back. I see a lot of vlogging on YouTube. What's vlogging, you may ask if you haven't done one. It's basically following you around while you do something. You could do a day in the life of a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So you do a few little bits to camera, you show yourself doing something. If you're going out and teaching a class, you film a little bit of what it's like setting up the class, or what it's like when everybody arrives, and maybe everybody showing what they made at the end, what it's like to clear up the class and come back. You know, what it's like if you are filming something, what it's like if you are designing something. So a little bit of kind of behind the scenes type video content can be very interesting to people. Also, if you are promoting people joining your team, you can show what does it take to be a demonstrator like me. You could also ask one of your team if you could go and vlog what it's like to be a demonstrator like them, if they are doing much bigger events, or alternatively, if they're doing much smaller events, to say, you could join my team like Tracy here, and this is how Tracy actually does huge events now, but this is how they work when they've, got a class of 3 people, and this is what this looks like. So vlogging, a thing to think about. Now, I mentioned a behind the scenes tour. That could be a video, it could be a live, it could also be like a photo montage. People love to see craft rooms, so that's another really good one. Back in the day, my biggest video that anybody had ever watched, my most viral video, was my old craft room. And then part 1 of a 2-part new craft room. Part 2 never really got it, but part 1 went crazy. Yeah, that's the weird thing of the algorithm. So yeah, craft room tours, a good thing. I'm going to give you one final one, and this is send out a newsletter. Now, this can be sending out a newsletter to your existing customers, sending out a newsletter to your lapsed customers, getting people to hear from you on a regular basis. If you're in person and people see you once a month, a newsletter is a good thing. It's always a good thing, because you could send it in between when you see them, or you could send it for the people who don't make it to class that month. If you are online, a newsletter is critical, because all of those online things require somebody to go and look. If they're on Facebook, they may or may not be fed your Facebook post. If they're on YouTube, they may or may not see it. They may or may not go to visit your blog. If you send out a newsletter, you can send a link to all of those places. The online places don't really like you sending a link to somewhere else, and they will push you down the algorithm. If you say on Facebook every day, go to my blog, here it is, go to my blog, here it is, they're going to go, no, we want people to stay on Facebook. So whilst you can do that occasionally, and you've already got a nice flow of people coming to see you, if you do it every day, no. But in your newsletter, you can say up front and center, come to my blog, go to my YouTube, go to my online store. Did I say this was the last one for online? I'm going to give you one more. This is your bonus one. If you have a DBWS website, and if you are a totally online demonstrator, you probably do, but if you do, make it personal. There are loads of ways to personalize DBWS. You can put your events on there, your online events. If you're in person, of course, you can put your in-person events on there if you've got DBWS. You can put your own projects on there. You can link to it with things from your blog and from your other online places. Make it look different to everybody else's DBWS, because otherwise, why are they shopping with you? Make it about you. Make it about what you offer. Make it so that they get something by coming to you. And that is across all of social media, and absolutely it's in person. Now, I haven't finished talking. I know this is going to be a long video. I know it is, but some of these things could transform your business. So I've got the last few things to talk about. We have talked about all those ways to share what you do, to show what you do, to get people interested in what you do. And if you just show the beautiful projects, they will go, oh, isn't that lovely? Let's scroll on to the next one. What we want to do is to think about the outcome we want when they see it. So think, what do I want that person to do? Do I want them to book a class? Do I want them to buy something? Do I want them to join my team? Do I want them to host an event? Do I want them to like and subscribe? Try and focus on a maximum of 1 or 2 outcomes. In a very long video, you could put 3 in. I wouldn't try and do more than that. 1 or 2 is great, especially for something that's short or a single picture or whatever it is you're sharing. Don't overwhelm your viewer or your potential customer with, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing, it's too much, and they'll go, oh, well, I'm not going to do any of those things. So keep it simple. Focus on those outcomes, and now you need to ask. You can do it. You can ask. When you're meeting someone face to face or online, you need to ask for what you want. If you don't, you won't get it. You're sharing an opportunity for something good. You're not giving them, you're not trying to make them do something they don't want to do. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it. But you need to make it clear how they can say yes. Make it clear how they can say yes. It may be send me a message. On Facebook, that's a really good one because you're going to get more interaction and they see that. It may be click here. That's good on your blog or on your newsletter. It may be like and subscribe. I do that on YouTube too. I say, if you're enjoying this video, please like or subscribe. Or if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe and leave me a message. It really helps. So something like that. Here's some more examples. During a demonstration, whether in person or online, if you love these stamps as much as me, you can get them from my online store. There's a link below. Or, ladies, are you loving these as much as I do? You know where your order forms are? And that sort of thing. So make sure there's a link, make sure there's a way for them to actually do that. While showing an upcoming class, if you'd like to save your space at this class, get in touch. This is how you get in touch. You can email me or give me a call. In person, I've got my diary here now if you'd like to book in. On YouTube, if you're sharing a product, maybe while you're cutting and colouring, something that's a bit slower, it would really help if you would like and subscribe to my channel. So as I was saying earlier, can be just fed in there rather than I'm going to stop and say it and then go back to what I was saying. But either works. So, oh my goodness, was that a lot? Was that too much for one video? You can tell me in the comments. You can also pop over to Ready Set Demo. Here's my little plug. You can pop over to Ready Set Demo. I've got a link down below where you can pick up this list for free. I'll include the reminders for the calls to action. I've thrown some extra ones in while I've been talking today, so I will try and remember to add those onto the list because I have just really been sort of sharing what I know. And I hope that will help you. Final thing to think. I don't want you to try and do 9 of these things. Do you remember I said this at the beginning? I want you to pick 1, 2, or 3 of these things and commit. Commit to doing it, commit to trying it, and let me know how it goes. Thanks for visiting Ready Set Demo today. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.